Hello there. It is Friday, October 24th, and this is the afternoon shift. I'm Adam Llorens. I know we're coming at you a little bit delayed. It's 3:04 Central Time right now. We had a little bit of technical difficulties there at the top, but we are with you now. We are live in living color from our beautiful Studio 9 here at Fox 9 headquarters in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. So pleased to be bringing you the news today. It's going to be a packed show that we have for you all. You probably saw in the news yesterday, Target, they're laying off 8% of their workforce. We're going to be talking to an expert that can speak all things Target and what this means for employees going forward. I believe those employees that are affected are going to learn of that layoff on Tuesday. Lauren Andrego, she'll be joining us in studio. Her and Max recorded a little something special yesterday to preview the weekend ahead. We'll look forward to that conversation. Then the world champion pumpkin grower. This guy grows pumpkins that get over 1,000 pounds, these huge, massive pumpkins, just in time for Halloween, which is 1 week from today. He'll be joining our show live as well to talk all about his pumpkin growing. I'm rocking this Dodgers jersey right now. It's a huge night for me, and it's a huge night for Fox, generally speaking, for O&O stations all across the country. The World Series begins tonight at 7 Central. The Dodgers at the Blue Jays, Game 1. Trey Yesavich versus Blake Snell. Should be a great game. So we're going to get into some World Series talk with Pierre Nugent and Ryan Rablin. And we're also going to be talking a little bit of Vikings as well in that segment. And then Kristi Noem, the secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, she is in Minneapolis right now. She is going to be speaking at 4:30 Central Time. When she does, we'll be bringing you that live. Yes, and we'll be bringing you updates of Kristi Noem here in Minneapolis all throughout the episode. I have our beautiful producers, Paul-Millgate and Grace Henry, telling me that intermittently in my ear right now. So Kristi Noem, like I said, this is a big national story.
This is the shot we're going to bring up later. So, as things progress, we don't know if it'll be exactly on time, but if you see this come up on your screen, don't be alarmed. It's just we're getting ready for this big press conference that's taking place in Minneapolis at 4:30.
Yeah, Grace. If we can put up that shot one more time. There's a lot going on there on that desk. A lot of different objects there. I don't maybe it looks like shirts. I don't know exactly what that is. You see a couple of wanted signs in the background. A very decorated set there. So when Kristi Noem does speak, we'll be bringing you that live. Grace, let's bring you back up here for a second. Yes, Grace, go ahead. Oh, muted. There you go.
Me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had, like I said, we're having some technical difficulties, but I think we're on track now. Mm-hmm. And we've got a really packed, big show today. And our first guest, he's actually on the line, so I think we'll skip right through our headlines and we'll start talking about what is another big piece of news of the day, that Target will be laying off 1,000 employees in a total of 1,800 positions. So he's going to provide a little more insight into that. And yeah, and they'll talk a little bit also about the Amazon automations that are basically going to prevent the company from hiring 500,000 people because they're going to be bringing in robot automation.
That's right. It's a huge local story, just like Grace said. John Boyd, he's the principal of the firm, the Boyd Company. He'll be joining us live coming up next, like Grace said, to talk all things Target and this Amazon automation that's happening here. All right, that's the afternoon shift for today. We're so excited to be with you. We're going to be with you all the way until 5 Central Time. Don't go anywhere. We're just getting started right here at Fox 9. Welcome back to the afternoon shift. It's a jam-packed show. Like I said before the commercial break, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, she will be speaking in Minneapolis in just about an hour from now. We will be bringing you that live as soon as it happens. We're excited to bring you that live. But first, just yesterday, our good friend Lauren Andrego joined Max in the studio. I was out for a little bit, and they talked all about their weekend plans that are coming up. And Lauren, as always, delivered her Lauren's list of all the great things happening here in the Twin Cities and across the great state of Minnesota. Let's take a look. So we're, you know, listen, everybody, it's a Friday here at Fox 9. We've been having some technical difficulties today, and I'm being told that Lauren and Max are good now. Here we go.
Segment, Lauren's list with the top homie, Lauren Andrego. Is something going on between you and Adam? He hasn't been here the last two Lauren's lists.
I know.
Is there like a beef
there must be
that you want to reveal
if
here?
There is, it's one-sided, and I can't wait to hear what it is. You know, I do accidentally bother people sometimes.
Really?
So it actually wouldn't surprise
I can't imagine you. Like,
sometimes
have
I
you ever had like a
start
serious
talking
beef
and I
with
don't
someone?
Stop. No, not really. Definitely not at work. I thought everyone was my homie.
Maybe. Apparently not. I mean, I heard. Listen, I'm not trying to reveal my sources or anything, but I have a friend, Adam Llorens, and he said there's a diss track in the works.
Oh my gosh! Wait, I hope he's Drake and I'm Kendrick. Oh gosh.
Have you ever spit a freestyle?
No.
Do you think you can rap?
I feel like you would be really good at it.
No.
I love watching people who can freestyle.
I feel like you got to give me some time. There's gonna be some rough patches.
Yeah.
But if you give me some time, I think it'll go pretty
well. And you and I are in the business of communication, so I think we want to be impeccable with whatever we say.
Exactly.
But to be insulting and rhyme at the same time,
right.
That's about as talented as you
can
get.
Yeah. There's a reason I'm not good at it.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I'd be obnoxious.
Me either. And I don't have any beef with anyone, so I don't have anyone to diss.
Well, we don't have beef with you on the
sweet.
show here.
Good.
I don't, at least. Maybe Adam does, but I don't.
I get less and less confidence every time I come into the studio.
And we definitely don't have beef with this segment. It's our favorite segment of the week. What's going on this weekend? I have no notes. I'm flying
No
blind.
notes.
You know me. Normally, it's like encyclopedia over here.
Yeah,
Tomes
multiple pages
of notes.
You've got the college lined, and you've also got the grid paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like I'm quite studious, but I'm flying blind. I'm trying to live a different kind of life.
Well, that's okay. We'll keep it interesting. Here's what's exciting. We have 2 full weekends to celebrate Halloween this year.
Oh, let's go.
Because this year Halloween is on a Friday.
Oh, I see.
And so this weekend is the
All the
full
Halloween stuff.
October weekend to celebrate Halloween, and then next weekend on the 31st and 1st there will still be plenty of Halloween action. So if you want to celebrate,
I got my costume, by the way.
What is it?
My daughter told me she wants me because we have a dog named Goku. Goku.
Okay.
There's also a very popular anime character named Goku.
Okay.
And she told me to go as Goku. And
You're
she said
gonna be Goku.
either one, or both. So I may find a way to try to combine it.
Oh my gosh.
But otherwise, it's just like I don't know how I'm just gonna be like a black dog.
I'll have to look up the character.
Yeah, you should look him up.
Is it
G-O-K-U? Yeah.
Oh, that's easy.
He's like probably the most popular anime character of all time. He's got some crazy hair. I feel like I could pull it off.
Well, when I get Wi-Fi signal in here, I will figure
this
out.
This building has the worst.
It's the worst. These are almost like just notebooks for us. I have to go into a different room.
This guy right here.
Oh, I've seen this guy before.
You've seen this guy.
I thought that was.
See, I wonder if I could style.
Is that Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, what? No,
doesn't
completely
he
different thing.
Oh, sorry.
He doesn't have cards.
Okay.
He throws hands. He doesn't throw cards. He throws hands.
Got it.
Purely hands.
Okay.
He's been whooping asses for like 50 years now.
Yeah, you should get that.
Don't you think I could pull it off?
Yeah, and you just spike your hair.
Yeah, I think that'd be
You
sick.
get your daughter in on that.
Yeah.
I think she would love to do that.
I think she would have a lot of fun.
Oh,
doing that.
fun.
Absolutely.
Okay, love
So
it.
That's my costume.
So I'll see you out as Goku next weekend.
Right.
Great. Wonderful. Well, if you want to celebrate Halloween this weekend, there's a lot of opportunities to do it, starting in southern Minnesota and Albert Lee, Octoberween. Halloween and Oktoberfest become one this Thursday. So today through Sunday at the Freeborn County Fairgrounds, there's going to be beer, live music, food trucks, a beer garden, a kids carnival, bounce houses, pumpkin crafts, and a bone-chilling haunted house.
Oh, I love haunted houses.
Do you?
Yeah. Are you a haunted house
No,
person?
I don't like being scared.
I love it.
So I don't like haunted houses. I don't like scary movies. I barely like Halloween because it just borders on too scary for me. Like, do you remember the movie Monsters, Inc.?
Yeah.
I had
that
nightmares
was too
from
scary
that.
for you?
Yeah,
That's a
because
kids movie.
oh my gosh, but there were monsters coming out of doors. Like that concept is as scary as any scary movie when you're 5 years
So
old.
this is a rough time of year for you.
It kind of is. I just can't wait for Christmas to start.
I love haunted houses.
Just $5 And they're also going to do some sort of pumpkin archery that you can pay that you get. So I think
you're a struggle.
Yeah,
a giant bow
arrows and well, I don't think you're shooting pumpkins. I think you're shooting at pumpkins.
Shooting at that makes more sense,
right?
Logistically,
that would be crazy.
You'd have to be like crazy strong to like sling a pumpkin.
Yeah,
out of a bow and arrow.
That's from that I bet at that Viking festival they did that kind of pumpkin archery. So this is happening Thursday through Sunday, Freeborn County Fairgrounds in Albert Lee. Right down I-35 in southern Minnesota.
You would know better than anyone.
Yeah, well,
how does traffic go around Halloween? Is it very smooth because everybody's on foot around Halloween?
Yeah,
time, or no?
That's a great question. I don't know. I don't think there's any particular like backups.
Bumps, yeah.
I will say I've done downtown Minneapolis Halloween night and it's packed.
Oh, yeah.
Like don't wait until the end of the night to order an Uber. You won't get one.
Or it'll be $80.
And then you're stuck on your phone trying to figure out if you can take the blue line home, and it's just awful. Yeah, so plan ahead of time. No matter where you're going, plan a sober ride. There's plenty of opportunities to get that in the Twin Cities.
And some of those bus lines depends on the time of night.
Oh my gosh,
yeah, it's the real spooky hours.
Yeah, exactly. So just drive safe wherever you go. Down to Manorville, which is also a great
Manorville.
city.
I've literally never heard of this place.
Casson Manorville High School.
What? No.
No?
This is Manorville. I find out a new city in Minnesota every
We
single
actually
day.
just did a story from the Casson Manorville area because Casson was one of the few. Wait, what county is Casson Manorville in?
Let me see right here.
Dodge County. It was one of 4 counties in Minnesota that doesn't have a lake in it.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
No lake.
Yeah, 0 lake.
That's
so
insane.
they're building a man-made lake.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I didn't really even know was a
thing. They're like,
thing.
hey, that's on the 3 of y'all.
Yeah.
We're not going to be one of those 4 that don't have a lake.
Right. That's what's kind of embarrassing
That's
here in Minnesota.
10,000 lakes, you ain't got one?
So take a drive down to Manorville, see the site where the new lake is going to be, and visit their fall festival. They have a first annual competition this year called the Pumpkin Roll.
Ooh.
You buy a pumpkin, you put an X on it with your name on it, roll it down a hill.
I'm in for this. Do you throw money on it?
I think so. I think I think there's some sort of contest element here. It's their first time doing this, but I think watching 100 pumpkins race down a hill is the best way to celebrate.
That's exhilarating.
Halloween.
We got to throw a camera out there.
Yeah, I think we
stream
should.
That live.
We should
like have live odds and have like play-by-play and everything. That is amazing.
I just love how these like fall festivals are refining and they're figuring out like what the people want.
Yeah.
And it's exploding pumpkins.
Right, and you have to do something different.
Yeah.
No one else is exploding pumpkins.
Right. Nope, not that I know of.
I was curious. I was wondering if it was going to be like the cheese roll thing where you
I think
roll
it's going to be
pumpkin
similar.
down and then you like
chase it down.
Hill. Now,
I don't
that
think
might
they're
be next year.
Yeah,
This is the first
maybe.
year.
If
That
this
might be
one's
next year.
not intense enough, they'll do that. Watching that cheese roll is scary.
It is really scary. Would you do it?
No.
I would love to.
You
I'm
really?
going to do it someday.
You should. Are you good
But I
at
gotta
like?
do it soon because I'm gonna like.
Yeah, while your joints are still good.
Yeah.
Can you like do a somersault?
Yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
okay. So you're
my
good.
daughter's in gymnastics.
Oh.
Where do you think she got it from? Duh. Hello.
Simone Biles over here.
Simone Biles over here. Okay. I never even
always
thought,
have it.
I'm gonna hit,
oh
I'm gonna
my
hit Adam
gosh!
with that one
Put
later.
that one
Yeah,
in
I
the
gotta put
notes
that
for
one down.
later. So you're also going to be able to do a ghost tour wagon ride. There are going to be clowns there. Talk about scary.
That is spooky. Are you anti-clown, pro-clown?
I'm anti-clown. They freak me out.
They are kind of scary in real life. Like
Yeah.
from afar, I'm like, that's
Yeah.
no big deal. But when you see them in real life, they are a little bone rattling.
And I was in college during that like killer clown
when everybody
craze,
was like dressing up as clowns.
and just popping up in the middle of the street.
Yeah. Didn't someone get like actually seriously hurt? And the whole
I think there were a couple incidents
where people are like, okay, hey, we're not messing around.
But it was mostly just people terrorizing other people
Yeah.
in Halloween costumes at night, and that I can't. Even from 100 yards away, they're scary.
I miss those days.
All sorts of fun stuff. Were you one of the clowns?
No, it would have been easy with the fro and everything.
Were you on Cleveland Avenue in St. Paul in 2016 in full clown costume?
I can neither confirm or deny.
Oh my
need to have my
goodness, our
attorney
paths
present.
have crossed. Haunted Hustle 5K, Halloween Farmers Market, pumpkin painting, tours of their historic homes, which
Sweet.
might be haunted, pet costume contest, food trucks, cookie decorating.
Gotta love a good pet costume.
All that you want down there in Manorville, Saturday only.
cannot wait for that. There's nothing funny. Like the simple things in life, there's nothing better than a dog.
Dog in a
human
costume.
clothes,
I
just in general. It's
completely
hilarious.
agree, especially in a way. I saw a Dolly Parton pug. Like, that's just funny.
Like that's like I don't even know how people think of this stuff.
I love it.
But I absolutely love it.
And
so
if you
Manorville.
Manorville. Yep.
Yep,
Right next to Casson, right there in Dodge County.
Sweet.
Okay, let's go to Minnetonka. We talk about family-friendly events all the time, so I wanted to talk about one just for the adults.
Yeah. About
ready for this?
Damn time.
The Hanson's Halloween Haunt is happening Saturday at Hanson. That was Hanson with an O though, I think. Or were they Hanson with an E?
I think they were Hanson with O.
This is Hanson with an E. At the Sheraton West Hotel. It becomes haunted this weekend.
Fancy.
The biggest Halloween party in the Twin Cities. Coyote Wild will be playing live. I don't know if you know about them. They're a touring band.
Isn't that the movie about like strippers?
Isn't that Coyote Ugly?
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know.
right.
I haven't seen it. They're going to have a DJ all night. Come in your best costume. There are going to be prizes for best costume, scariest costume, funniest costume, best couple, laser light show, DJ rocking the haunted hotel, multiple bars, party rooms, a big ballroom, decorated lobby. The entire hotel is haunted. So as you walk through the hallways to different rooms, there will be people scaring you.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, so it's
a
like
whole haunted
you're kind of
hotel.
in a haunted house all night.
But you get to stay overnight.
Yeah, well, you can book a room. Otherwise, the party goes from 6 until 2 a.m. So, yeah, till bar close.
Can
And
you
then
imagine you're just like going out to get like a snack in the middle of the night, just tired, just woke up, groggy, and then there's like some dude in a Freddy Krueger outfit.
Yeah.
Like
Just a bunch of zombies walking through the hotels
of
the
that.
Sheraton. That is happening Saturday in Minnetonka. And then finally, I wanted to talk about Anoka Halloween, which has been going on all month.
Okay.
But it comes
all
to
month.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they don't
Anoka,
play.
Halloween capital of the world.
That's true.
And this weekend, it all culminates with their big Grand Day Parade on Saturday at noon.
Wow.
Tomorrow, I'm going to be in Anoka on All Day Live because they have their oldest tradition of Anoka Halloween is the big parade of little people.
The big parade of little
It's the whole elementary school.
Oh, okay. I didn't know we were going with the little
And
people
it's so it's like the kindergartners and up walk through Main Street all in costume.
That's amazing.
So I will be there tomorrow on all day, but there's stuff going on all weekend.
Yes.
They also have a pumpkin smash.
Oh.
I don't know exactly what this entails, but
it's like a different.
there will be smashing pumpkins, not the band, the activity.
Damn it. I love the band.
Great band.
Great
name,
band.
by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
it is.
that was probably one of those instances where someone said the term Smashing Pumpkins and
They all
was
were
like,
just like,
that's
bro,
it.
Bro.
That's the one.
Ran to the trademark office.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Where is this again? Anoka?
Anoka.
The parade
North
of,
up 169, the
of
Grand
the
Parade.
big parade
Big
of little
parade
people.
of little people is tomorrow. The Grand Day Parade is Saturday, and then all day Saturday in the city of Anoka, right around Main Street, there's going to be all sorts of Halloween activities. Put your costume on. It's going to be nice out this weekend, which is great.
Is it?
Yeah, like 60s.
Oh, perfect.
So if you're out and about, you won't have to put a coat over your Halloween costume.
There was no greater disappointment as a child
I know.
than having to put the coat on over the costume.
Right.
And then you're like a flasher, basically.
Yeah.
Every door you go to.
Right.
Like, look,
I'm like,
I
look at my
swear,
costume.
I'm Batman, I swear.
Yeah, I'm not just a cold person from Minnesota. I'm not just a Fargo character for Halloween.
Great day for those kids that never tried that. Yeah.
Very true.
Never thought of it from that angle.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah.
What do you have like a favorite childhood costume, like one that you remember that you're like, I killed it that year?
I dressed up as a devil 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
Like
wow.
I just really liked the devil costume. Like was really feeling it. My
Just
mom.
into the
I remember
devil,
like the
yeah.
third year, she was like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "No, let's keep
Let's-
going with
let's
devil.
Keep this thing going.
It packs
you
a
know?
punch. You just wear red on red on red on red with the same
Simple,
sparkly ears or the
effective.
devil horns. And
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's the only one I can even think of. Otherwise, I think I just did some iteration of Princess every other year,
Yeah.
and that was about it. What about you?
I was Ash Ketchum one time.
Oh
for
my
Pokemon. I had the
gosh.
gloves, I had a little Pikachu and everything. Before I had the fro, so I could wear the hat. You know, that was one that stood out for me.
That was
for sure.
you and my boyfriend have a lot in common. He was also an Ash Ketchum, and I think he was also several Pokemon. His mom is like a
Amazing.
very good at sewing, and
Yeah.
she would sew his Halloween costume every year, and he just went as a different
so cool.
Pokemon
Oh my
each year.
I did wear a Pokemon costume one time, but it was not Halloween. I was at an anime convention. Let me tell you, those people party.
Yeah.
Party.
It's Halloween every weekend
Yeah,
at the
literally,
anime conventions.
Like, and you've never been tore up until you turn around and you see a guy in a Pikachu outfit doing shots.
Oh
like,
my
like a
gosh.
shot ski,
Uh,
and you're like, where am I?
I know.
Like, where am I right now?
Was it at the convention center? Is that where you went to it?
I think it was at a hotel. Like this one was at a hotel, and like
Nice.
people just leave their rooms open. Not trying to give all away the anime con tea, but it was it's a party.
Twin Cities Con is coming up in 2 weeks. I'll be at that for all day.
Sweet.
Hopefully talking to a celebrity. They told me probably not Brendan Fraser, but I
That
asked.
would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be legendary.
We'll see.
Shout out to the mummy.
Yeah.
And shout out to you, the
Thank
top
you.
homie, Lauren
And
and
you.
Jago. Lauren's List. One of our favorite segments of the week. There'll be more afternoon shift right after this.
Welcome back to the afternoon shift, Halloween. It's exactly 1 week from today, and there is a world champion giant pumpkin grower. I said it. There's world championships of pumpkin growing, folks. He lives right here in Minnesota. His name is Travis Ginger, and he joins us now. There he is, Mr. Ginger. Welcome to the afternoon shift. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I love it. Mr. Ginger, why do you grow large pumpkins? What is the purpose of it outside of submitting it to competitions? Can you eat these pumpkins? Like, how'd you get your start in all of this?
Well, I got started a long, long time ago, and needless to say, eating them, they're not the best. I'd rather have pie pumpkins, but they are sure fun to grow.
Yeah. And all right, so you grow these giant, enormous pumpkins. You submit them to competitions. How does that work? How do you transport the pumpkin to wherever the competition is being held? How large are the pumpkins that are sort of the champion pumpkins that you got?
For sure. These pumpkins can be 7 foot in diameter by 7 foot, 2,749 pounds. So we pick them up with a little harness just like that. And we put them on a trailer, transport them all the way California, New York, and all around the country.
And when do you actually start planting the seeds for these pumpkins to get started? I'm assuming, I've learned a lot about Minnesota agriculture. I'm assuming the soil here is ripe for this kind of growing. When does the process actually begin?
So the process starts about mid-April, maybe April 10th. And we start planting that seed indoors, and then we transfer it outside under a little hoop house to keep it warm, because here we have a lot of frosts in the spring. Mm-hmm. And then, come June, it's susceptible to hail, storms, cold, frost, you name it.
Incredible. What got you the start into this? There has to be some sort of backstory of how your fascination and passion for pumpkins really began. It's a very niche and unique interest there. How did you get really started into it?
Yeah, so my family was a bunch of gardeners and agriculturalists, so to speak. But needless to say, I would always go to the state fair and see these big pumpkins and thought, wow, I could do that. And then quite a few years later, I ended up setting the world record for the largest pumpkin.
So it all started at the Minnesota State Fair. That's incredible. Does the Minnesota State Fair have a pumpkin contest that they have? Have you entered this contest yet?
Yeah, they've got a pretty big contest. People always put their pumpkins in August. The problem is it's so early that these pumpkins are still growing. So most of us don't want to pick ours and put ours in the state fair. We actually take them out to other events when they're fully grown.
Incredible. What's the competition like they're out there? Are there competitors that you have across the United States? I know you're the 4-time winner of the Safeway World Championship Pumpkin Weigh-Off, considered the Super Bowl of pumpkin growing exercises. Are there other rivals of yours that are out there, and how big are their pumpkins that they're growing?
Yeah, in fact, if you want to boil down the states, actually, New York's got us beat for their average top 10. Wisconsin shortly followed, and then I think it's us. But New York has a little bit more mild nights than ours, I will say. And then Wisconsin, you get into that eastern Wisconsin, and it's, kind of surrounded by that Lake Michigan kind of area, and it's a little bit more insulated than here. So I feel like it's a little bit better growing out there. But worldwide, people grow in climate-controlled greenhouses. It's kind of a big deal. There's thousands of growers worldwide.
Travis Ginger, one of the best pumpkin growers out there. Travis, there was a Star Tribune profile, a really beautifully put together one that you did, and it said that you're pondering retirement. Why is that, and do you have an update for us from that?
Well, growing these things takes a lot of time. I mean, it's almost a full-time job. Uh, and there's no guarantees. I mean, if we get a cold, wet, rainy year, you're out, you're done. Um, you could grow big, but it's not going to do it what we need to do on a global scale. So it takes a lot of time and effort, but we'll see. Right now, my daughters kind of love it and love taking pictures with the pumpkins. So I just got to rewrap my mind around what I need to do to get these things huge again.
How old are your daughters that you speak of there?
We've got one 4 months and 4 years.
Oh, wow. Wow. So I think the picture that you got right there, right behind you, are those your daughters there?
Yeah, the one at that time. So yeah.
Very, very nice. Very nice. I'm sure that they think it's really cool, especially around Halloween time. The pumpkins are everywhere. And I guess the pumpkin season here in America, we really associate pumpkins with Halloween, but they really do extend through Thanksgiving, I would say. You do see them out there. So this kind of does run the gamut. Do you find that the business for pumpkin growing after the Thanksgiving holiday, does it kind of comes and it just evaporates just like that?
Yeah, for us, for me being part of the Anoka Halloween capital, that's kind of the end date for me. But these carver guys, they'll carve all the way up until Thanksgiving and nationwide. So it's really cool. Once the pumpkin's weighed, last year mine got carved in LA. The year before it got carved in New York. So it really all depends on where it goes.
So let me get this straight. You're growing these giant pumpkins and they're actually getting carved into jack-o'-lanterns too? Is that right?
Yep. I think I've got 4 or 5 Guinness Book of World Records just for the largest jack-o'-lantern.
Who is carving them? And that can't just be a simple knife, right? I mean, that's got to be a full-on saw, right?
It's quite involved. Last year, they flew 3 professional carvers out from New York to LA for 5 days carving this pumpkin.
You talk about some of the odder jobs that I've ever heard of. Professional pumpkin carvers. That's incredible. One of the biggest pumpkins that you have, if not the biggest, has a very special name, Michael Jordan. Can you tell us all about your pumpkin, Michael Jordan? What's he all about? How special is he to you?
So, obviously, Michael Jordan, the greatest of all time, but to do what he did, and I always try and name my pumpkin something that I can remember the year. So his number was 23. And we thought, well, what if we just name this one Michael Jordan? Sure as heck, we set the world record. You couldn't write a better story to that, but it just so happened.
What's the 2025 one named?
Well, I think we just lost our world record to the guys overseas about 2 weeks ago. So, and they're all climate control, greenhouse sensors, you name it. So I don't know. I think we almost have to kind of come back as Rocky and really kind of take over the overseas guys.
You say they're growing them overseas in climate control greenhouses. You're just growing yours on your farm in Minnesota. I mean, these are just traditionally grown outdoors, right?
Yep. And there's advantages, disadvantages to both. But I mean, it's tough to beat the growth rate over there. I think we can beat the heavy.
And these competitions, I'm sure there are monetary incentives here to grow the biggest pumpkin. Did this, I guess we all have passions in life, and sometimes we don't really know where these passions are going to end up bringing us. We're kind of walking by faith and not by sight so much. Would you say that was the case for you, sir? When you really began this, did you really think that it would get you to the stage where it is today, where you'd have this huge profile in the Star Tribune written all about you? You'd be the 4-time world champion of the Safeway, a world champion pumpkin weigh-off. I mean, did you have all these in sight when you just saw this competition at the Minnesota State Fair?
Not a clue. In fact, though, it was kind of funny. I did a presentation when I was 14 years old in a class, and I said, one day I hope to set the world record for the largest pumpkin someday. And we actually had it on film. And, transfer almost 3 decades later, I did it. And so we put together a really cool video. And it's pretty inspirational for someone that wants to, accomplish something.
Yeah. You talk about inspirational. Maybe there's somebody out there. Maybe the 14-year-old version of Travis Ginger is out there saying, "Hey, I could grow pumpkins." Maybe they're fascinated with carving out pumpkins around Halloween time or whatnot. What would you tell that person? How can they get involved? How can they really follow their passions to maybe be in the shoes that you're in one day?
Yeah, find a local grower like myself and pair up with them. we'll be able to send you seeds and kind of get you started with growing tips. There's a bunch of different gardening forums online. Now with the world of the internet, a first-year grower can even grow a 2,000-pound plus pumpkin. So it's kind of neat.
Yeah, yeah. I will admit something to you, sir. Obviously, I know all about pumpkin pie. I knew all about, kind of roasted pumpkin seeds. Truthfully speaking, I did not know that you could just eat pumpkin. I didn't know that that was a thing. Do you ever just carve, you just take a spoon into a pumpkin and just get in? I mean, you do this, yeah?
One of my carver guys does that every year. He'll take just a bite out of the pumpkin. It's nuts, but yeah.
What's your favorite way to enjoy pumpkin?
Oh, pie for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And do you make pumpkin pies? I'm sure they're great pies as well.
Not me. I just grow them.
You just grow them. Travis Ginger, you are Mr. Minnesota Pumpkin. We love talking to you, especially around this time with Halloween. Thank you so much for joining us here on the afternoon shift. We really appreciate it, and learning more all about your very unique business. We'll be sure to look out for your 2025 pumpkin. And hey, maybe if you're not hanging up the cleats this year, maybe there will be number 26, and you'll have to come up with a name for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll figure it out. We might have a couple of them next year if we try.
Awesome. Travis Ginger, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks. What a great story. And like I said, Halloween just 1 week out from today. No better person to talk to than Travis Ginger. We do want to do another alert for everybody here. In about 35 minutes, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, she will be speaking live right here in Minneapolis. And there is a live picture of a chopper shot. Grace, were you about to say that?
Yes. Yep. Here's a live picture of protesters. I believe, are they outside the Capitol? I'm not exactly sure where they are, but we have live feed of them. They're downtown. They're protesting Kristi Noem's appearance in Minnesota today. So we're just giving you a live look into that.
Yes. They're out and about there. Like you see, once again, a live chopper view of protesters here for Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. She's going to be speaking in Minneapolis at approximately 4:30 Central Time. When that speech happens, we're going to let you know. Just some context on that speech. According to a press release, Noem will discuss, and I quote, ICE operations, an update on the Trump administration's immigration enforcement operations in the Twin Cities. This, of course, comes as the Trump administration is considering sending the National Guard into more cities. Once again, there you see on the screen a live chopper shot of protesters protesting Department of Homeland Security Kristi Noem's speech that she's set to deliver in about 33 minutes from now, 4:30 Central Time. When that speech happens, when Miss Noem approaches the podium, we will be bringing you that live. But for now, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to kind of recap the 3 o'clock hour that we have and look forward to the 4 o'clock hour. We're going to be talking a little Vikings. That was a tough one last night. Long night in Inglewood, California for the Vikings, and some World Series chat as well. Don't go anywhere. The afternoon shift continues right after this. Welcome back to the afternoon shift. It is 4 o'clock Central Time, right on the nose. We have a packed 4 p.m. hour for you. And the headline of this 4 p.m. hour is going to be Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. She's going to be delivering a speech. There you see a live shot at Secretary Noem's podium there. That is happening in Minneapolis. According to a press release, Noem will discuss, quote, ICE operations and an update on the Trump administration's immigration enforcement operations in the Twin Cities. And there you see a live shot of protesters outside that hall where Secretary Noem will be delivering that speech. We're going to be bringing you that as soon as it happens. It's slated for 4:30 Central Time, about 29 minutes from right now. This is a story that is both local and national, making international headlines as well. And there you see the number of protesters that are outside the hall that Secretary Noem will be speaking at the bottom of the hour at 4:30 Central Time. We see there, and if you're watching there with me, a number of people with signs. It seems like people with megaphones. There seems to be one person there seems like they're kind of dancing or waving some sort of wand. A lot of people there. And that may be right there. That looks like maybe a Palestine flag I see there too. A number of people outside the hall where Secretary Noem will be delivering a speech at the bottom of the hour, all about the Trump administration's immigration enforcement operations here in the Twin Cities. And when that happens, we're going to be bringing you that live. Okay, but before we do that, we're going to be talking about the very, very long night for the Minnesota Vikings at SoFi Stadium in beautiful Inglewood, California last night. 27-point loss. There's a lot to unpack there, specifically with the quarterback situation and the defense. Giving up 37 points, defense that's supposed to be top ranked in the NFL. That's not going to cut it. So we're going to be talking a little Vikings, and then, of course, programming our biggest event here on Fox 9 tonight, the World Series. Game 1, Rogers Center, downtown Toronto. The Los Angeles Dodgers, the reigning World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers, will be trying to reclaim that title against the Toronto Blue Jays. No team has won back-to-back World Series titles this century. The Dodgers trying to do something that hasn't been done since the Yankees did it 3 times in a row from 1998 to 2000. It should be a really special scene in Toronto, Ontario tonight, and I'm really excited about that as well. All right, all that and more coming up on the afternoon shift this hour. Don't go anywhere. We're just getting started. Welcome back to the afternoon shift. I got 2 of my Fox 9 buddies in the house today to talk a little sports. We got executive producer of All Day Live, Ryan Ravlin, and Fox 9 sports reporter Pierre Nugent. It was a huge day in sports last night for Minnesota. I want to get into it right now. The Vikings, they lost 37-10. Maybe just some overarching initial reactions from the both of you here. Obviously, a homegrown Vikings fan, born and raised in Eden Prairie. Pierre, right on the Vikings beat on the Fox 9 sports desk. What did you all make of last night?
Well, for me, the defense and how poorly they played, that's what really stuck. I know we have an issue at quarterback. Carson Wentz was banged up and was not effective, but the defense giving up 37 points coming off of what they did against what they let Jalen Hurts do in Philly, that's what really stood out for me.
I'm not ready to hit the panic button just yet, but my finger's hovering over the panic button. It's hovering over there because when you look ahead to the next 3 games, at Detroit, Baltimore at home with a healthy Lamar Jackson, and then you go to Green Bay. You're sitting at 3-4 right now. This 3-game stretch feels like it's your season. That's what it feels like right now. So if you can't win 2 out of the next 3 games, you could be in some trouble as we move into November here. I'm not saying it's impossible or wouldn't be impossible, but yeah, I agree with Ryan. I mean, we were talking about it on All Day earlier today, and I mentioned Amy Hockert. I said the trench play really is what is affecting this team right now, in my opinion. You're without your starting right tackle, your starting left tackle leaves the game in the second quarter. That's obviously going to have an effect on your quarterback, no matter who the quarterback is. But bringing in guys like Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave along this defensive line, this has been the biggest surprise to me so far of this season, is how inept they have been in terms of stopping the run. That is not a recipe for success. I am surprised that Brian Flores has not been able to find a way to get them to be a little bit better. Now, they were good against Philadelphia, but consistently they have not been good against the run this season. That's a huge problem for this team right now.
I do want to get into the defense, but the thing that America is all talking about today is the quarterback situation, and that's the sexy thing to talk about here. Listen, there was a very viral moment that happened yesterday in the second quarter. Justin Jefferson catches a pass and stumbles out of bounds, and J.J. McCarthy, kind of dances around and signals first down and looks like his ankle is healthy. And he was the third-string emergency quarterback, and unfortunately we can't play that video clip. I mean, listen, there's a lot of people out there talking about J.J. McCarthy, and is he healthy? And if he is, then why isn't he playing? And there's just a lot of people think that the situation is just very strange. How do you all see the quarterback situation?
I definitely think it's I don't know if I'd get into the territory of strange just yet. If he doesn't play against Detroit, then I think there's got to be a full-fledged blitz, pardon the pun, on what is going on here. Because initially it was diagnosed as a 2 to 4 week injury. We talked about it on the Vikings Now podcast after the game on Sunday, and I said it flat out. If he's healthy enough to play, I don't care that it's a short week. If he's healthy enough to play, he should play. If the team deems that he is not ready yet physically, then fine. I have no problem with that. I'm not going to question whether you're really injured or not. But this guy's got to get back in the game, not just to perhaps try to save this Viking season, but they've played, I believe it's 25 games since he's been drafted. He's only played in 2 of them. You still don't really know what you have. You need to know what you have out of a quarterback in particular that you drafted 10th overall. So it is imperative that he gets back into the lineup right now. As far as whether or not he's hurt or not, they say he's hurt. I'm going to go with what they say for right now. But if he does not play against Detroit, there is something going on that I do not like. There's something really, really fishy going on. This kind of feels like you should be healthy. Everybody heals differently, but this type of injury, you should be back this Sunday playing football against Detroit.
Yeah, I think we got to assume that he is injured because there's nothing that we've seen from Carson Wentz's play that suggests that he should remain out there. He's not doing a Sam Darnold performance that we saw last year. So. But yeah, it is a little bit odd, and he left that game in week 2, and we didn't really even think twice of it. We knew he kind of tweaked his ankle, but then it was a surprise when O'Connell came out and said, "No, he's out," and here we are in late October.
Yeah,
he's still out.
How does it feel from the Vikings' perspective, you mentioned Sam Darnold, seeing him have success this year? Daniel Jones, the Colts have the best record in the NFL, and he was on the Vikings roster last year. I'm not trying to pour salt in the wounds. Believe me, I'm honestly not trying to do that.
Care. It's more whether they win or lose is of no consequence to me.
I'm just saying from a Vikings perspective, is it hard to see these guys? The Vikings got to go play the Seahawks in Seattle later this year.
I mean, it is, but after what Week 17, Sam Darnold's performance against the Lions, and then that playoff game against the Rams, there was nothing there that made me be like, sign up for a $40 million plus deal to keep Sam Darnold. So it's easy to say that now, but at the time, I think everyone was okay with letting him walk.
Yeah,
I think Ryan's perspective on that is fairly accurate. I think a lot of people, I think it's fair to question, not to take anything away from Sam Darnold, but I think it's fair to question what exactly is the ceiling with Sam Darnold? Can you get to a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold? And I think that was a fair question to ask. Now, they addressed the offensive line issues in the offseason, but of course, they wouldn't have been able to do that and afford Sam Darnold at the same time. The thing that makes me, I've said this so many times over the last month on the Vikings Now podcast, to not bring back Daniel Jones or at bare minimum, find a replacement level type player like Daniel Jones to give competition to J.J. McCarthy in training camp is starting to look worse and worse by the day. Now, I know Daniel Jones is probably sitting there thinking, well, they drafted this guy. They obviously invested a high round pick in him. He's younger than me. They want to develop him, and they want him to be the starter. I think that was the obvious situation.
Was Sam Howell supposed to be that guy, right?
No,
remember, he was on the
yeah, he was, and they made a huge mistake trading for him. They traded for him, then traded him out within a month. That was a huge mistake. So, but to not bring Daniel Jones back for at least a year, perhaps a deal with incentives, to give competition to J.J. McCarthy, I think is a mistake. And even if Daniel Jones, I say this all the time, if Daniel Jones had beaten J.J. McCarthy out in training camp, so what? So what? That makes him that. Then because Kevin O'Connell's mind is a lot brighter than mine when it comes to football. If he deems that Daniel Jones is better than J.J. McCarthy, then that's fine. You're the better man. You play. I can live with the fact that who cares you took him in the first round. If he didn't work out, he didn't work out. Sam Darnold was working out just fine last year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't
till
care.
Week 17.
I get, yes. But I get in terms of how NFL teams want to structure their teams and trying to find a young, cheap quarterback and build the pieces around it. That's the formula for success. So I certainly understand it. But you can't tell me that signing Daniel Jones to a 1-year deal would have prevented you from getting better this year. I'm sorry, I just don't see it.
I don't want to play worst case scenario here. I agree. I think you got to see J.J. McCarthy and what he's capable of at some point. But what we've seen on the field from the 8 quarters that he has played in his NFL season, 7 of them have been really, really, really not so great. One of them was good.
Yeah.
The 4th quarter on Monday Night Football against the Bears, which, man, if you're the Bears right now, they've won 4 straight. They would have gotten that game, man. They'd be really in cruise control. That's a different conversation. Worst case scenario, if J.J. McCarthy plays and his gift is going to be at Detroit, and then, like you said, Baltimore, and then Green Bay. if the J.J. McCarthy experience doesn't go so well this year, are you pressing the panic button and saying we got to divert, we got to go a different way? I mean, how much leash are you going to give J.J. McCarthy, assuming he does come back, and if it doesn't exactly work out this year?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm smart enough to answer that. But what is the plan B? Do you go back to the draft then and try to draft a quarterback? Or I mean, we've seen these quarterbacks are getting when they hit free agency, they're getting big deals with other teams. So are you going to commit that kind of money to someone who can? I don't even know who that person would be at this point. But I don't know what plan B would be.
I don't have the list of quarterbacks that are set to be free agents in front of me, so I'd have to go back and look at that. But in terms of, if let's just assume that J.J. McCarthy returns healthy enough to play against Detroit and is healthy the rest of the season. I have to see, if they don't make the playoffs, that's not enough for me to hit the panic button.
Sure.
I have to see steady progression week in and week out. I have to see correct reads, good throws, no turnovers for the majority of the rest of the season. That would make me feel comfortable moving forward with him as the starter. To sit here and give up on him after 2 years where he's only played 8, 9, 10 games, I think is unfair. But listen, this is the NFL. It is a train that only works one way, and if you're slowing the train down, you're going to get kicked off. So I think that I just need to see progress is what I need to see. Progress might look different to different people, but that's all I would need to see is progress from J.J. McCarthy.
You all both brought up the defense at the start here. Justin Herbert had another field day last night. 227 pass yards, 3 touchdowns. The last time these two teams played 2 years ago, he had 405 pass yards and 3 touchdowns. So the last time Herbert's seen the Vikings, the last 2 times, they've been kind of crazy numbers there. The Vikings, the next quarterback gift they get is Jared Goff, who obviously puts up huge numbers, and then Lamar Jackson, and then Jordan Love. I mean, how confident are you about this Brian Flores? Even that this was supposed to be the backbone of the team coming into this year. How are you feeling about that now through week 8?
Ever since he's gotten here, I've been touting Brian Flores like I'm his agent. I mean, I have that much belief in him in terms of his ability to coach and get his guys in the right position and do the right things. This has been something I didn't foresee. Like we said off the top, I did not foresee this team having trouble against the run. I'm not as concerned about the quarterbacks that they're facing as I am concerned about the running backs that they're facing: Jahmyr Gibbs, Derrick Henry, and Jacob and Josh Jacobs.
Yes.
I'm not as concerned about that because, like I said, stopping the run has been the problem. If you can't stop the run, you're going to be in a world of hurt. Your defense is going to be gassed by the third quarter. So that's where it starts for me.
I agree with everything Pierce says. I don't have anything more to add on that.
I feel bad. I feel like I'm ripping on the Vikings here. Let's change topics. Let's promote some Fox 9 programming tonight. The World Series, 7 o'clock right here on Fox 9. The pregame show begins at 6 o'clock. Lots of talk about these pregame shows. The Dodgers it was a huge talking point last year World Series. Ice Cube before Game 2, and then the Yankees infamously responded with Fat Joe. That wasn't so great. There's talks about Drake and Kendrick Lamar maybe being involved because they're both from Toronto and LA. Whatever. Let's talk baseball here. How do you all see this World Series going? I'm going to try to be as neutral as possible. The Dodgers are 9-1.
I see.
The Dodgers are 9-1 this postseason. If they go 13-1, I mean, I think there's conversations potentially about one of the greatest teams of all time.
So you're going there already.
I'm just saying.
You're chalking it up as going to be a win.
They've only lost one time this postseason.
How many games did they win in the regular season?
It was like I think 90. It wasn't
as
like
many
the
as Toronto.
Not as many as Toronto.
Because they didn't have as dominant of a regular season as we saw the last year.
They did not. But I think the reason why the Dodgers did not have as dominant of a regular season is that they were preparing for this moment right now, and that's why they had a lot of guys
that bored.
So you're saying they were bored? I think they were a little bored. I think they were a little bored. They still held off the silly Padres. They still won the division.
Silly Padres.
They are very silly Padres. They won the division. They did everything that they needed to do. Listen, the Blue Jays, they're underdogs going into this series. What do they need to do to knock off the Dodgers? What would you say? The Blue Jays have been scoring a lot more runs than the Dodgers have this postseason. I think it's going to start with their bats, right?
Well, yeah, they need to get to the Dodgers bullpen as soon as possible. They need to try to get Blake Snell, who has been dominant.
Yes.
And Yamamoto.
Yes.
They need to get them out of the game as early as possible to have a chance and use their crowd as momentum here in these first 2 games. If they can't do that, it's going to be trouble. But I'll just go spoil. I don't know if we were doing predictions. Are we at that point yet?
We'll get there.
Okay, I'll hold on.
I don't mean to sound, what's the word?
Uh-oh.
Dramatic or hyperbolic or whatever word you want to use.
Yeah.
If the Blue Jays don't win Game 1 tonight, the series is already over.
Wow.
Blake, you have to find a way to get to Blake Snell. If Blake Snell goes out and has about as dominant of an outing as we've seen him have in the postseason, as good as those Blue Jays bats have been in the postseason, this is where the money is made. Everybody talks about it year in and year out. Series like these are won with pitching, and I like LA's pitching, even though I agree with Ryan that LA's bullpen, but LA's bullpen in the regular season, especially toward the back half after the All-Star break, wasn't great. In the postseason, it hasn't been terrible.
No, it's pretty good.
It hasn't been terrible.
Well, they found a closer with Roki Sasaki. They found him, and Blake Trinan's been pitching.
Blake Trinan, I mean,
he's been better. He's been better.
Blake Trinan's been a lot better. I mean, I remember watching Blake Trinan in his glory days closing for the Oakland A's a few years back, and he was absolutely unhittable that first year in Oakland.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to envision the Blue Jays winning this series if they don't take Game 1 tonight.
Yeah. I think from a Dodger perspective, I'm actually a little bit more concerned about Game 2 because we've seen Yamamoto against the Phillies. He did not have a good outing. Even against the Brewers, and he pitched the complete game against the Brewers, and that was awesome. The first pitch that he threw was a home run to Jackson Chourio, and obviously he found a way to get it done before then. I'm a little bit more concerned about him than I am for Snell. Snell's got a huge chip on his shoulder. Snell's never won a World Series title. He wasn't on the Dodgers last year. I think he's got that sort of momentum. I think Blake Snell is a sneaky little World Series MVP candidate.
He was on
he
was on that Rays. Was he on that Rays team?
He was, and he got taken out of the game infamously by Kevin Cash. That was the 2020 World Series, which the Dodgers won. The Dodgers won that one, too.
The shortened season,
The shortened season. I think a problem for the Blue Jays, none of their starters are left-handed. The Dodgers have 3 major left-handed bats. We all know about Shohei Ohtani. We all know about Freddie Freeman. Keep your eyes on Max Muncy. I think Max Muncy wants to make, and then he's another
Baylor's own.
He's a Baylor and an Oakland A.
I covered Max Muncy his senior year at Baylor. Down in Waco. I remember, and we saw that he hit with power, but we did not think that he would develop into the kind of hitter that he has been at the major league level.
Your dark horse kind of here.
I think him, Andy Pajes. I'm looking at them getting their bats going. I think him and Blake Snell. I think those are my 2 little MVPs.
Let me give you one for the Blue Jays.
All right, let's go.
Bo Bichette.
Well, he's going to be returning. Yes,
he's hitting cleanup tonight.
Yes.
And this guy is batting over 300 for the season, which is rare in today's game. So he's going to provide a little bit of an offensive spark for. We'll see. He's a little bit of a defensive liability, if I remember correctly. He's not great in the field, but his bat is good.
How about this? How about the last 4 Dodgers World Series appearances have all been against AL East teams? They lost to the Red Sox. They beat the Rays. They gentlemen swept the Yankees last year. So now they get the Blue Jays here. Let's get into prediction time. Let's get y'all's predictions. What do you say, Ryan?
First, actually,
I'm going to go Dodgers in 5. I do think what I've seen so far has been. I'm not going to try and get creative here. I think they maybe will get one of these 2 games, the Blue Jays at home. Probably not tonight, but maybe Game 2 they steal. But then I think the Dodgers take it the rest of the way. They've looked really good.
There is a big part of me that wanted to say the Dodgers in 5 as well, and I kind of lean that way. However, I think Toronto's offense is good enough to get 2 games in this series, so I'm going to say the Dodgers in 6.
Okay, I like that.
We're all curious what you're going to say.
You know what? When we had you here before the postseason, I said Dodgers in 5 over the Tigers. I'm going to say Dodgers in 5 as well. And I really wanted to take Dodgers in 4, but I want to take Dodgers in 5 because I do like the thought of Blake Snell being the World Series MVP and him pitching very well tonight and then closing it out in Game 5. And maybe they have such a huge lead in Game 5. Maybe they're up 8-3 and they're at home. Remember, it's going to be a 2-3-2 series. Maybe they are up 8-3 in the 9th inning, and then Clayton Kershaw comes in and closes the game out.
I saw he's on the roster.
He's on the roster.
What movie are you scripting here for us here, Adam? Gosh.
I'm trying. It would be great. You know what? It's a script that's only good in Hollywood, right, Pierre? So
as good as it gets.
It must be nice not even to worry about winning the series, but his biggest focus is worrying about who's the MVP and how it's going to end.
I have a bet with Ian Leonard. You heard about this bet, right? He's from Canada.
I've heard a few times.
I got to do the weather if the Blue Jays win, and I don't know what the good side is for me if the Dodgers win. He just gets to host the afternoon shift. People at home are going to be like, get rid of this Adam guy. We want Ian full time.
That's risky bet.
I know.
yeah.
What's the baseball term? Who's the guy that Wally Pipp?
Well,
You
yeah,
got
you got
Wally.
Wally
I'm
Pipp.
gonna
You
get
might
Wally
get Wally
Pipp.
Pipp.
Wally Pipp. He was the first baseman for the Yankees, and then this guy named Lou Gehrig filled in for him.
Filled in for him. Never got his job back.
Yep.
Never got his job back.
Good for you.
Hopefully, I keep my job. Ryan Rablin, the executive producer of All Day Live. We really appreciate you on every single day at noon on Fox 9 with Amy Hockert, the whole team there, Amber Milner, Kara Savage, everybody.
That's us.
Great team.
And we had Pierre on today.
And you had Pierre on today. Pierre, are you on tonight? Are you on the news tonight?
Not tonight. I'll be on tomorrow morning with the Gopher pregame show as the Gophers get set to take on Iowa tomorrow's big game for both teams. So,
game.
9 a.m. tomorrow on Fox 9.
And that game will be very special for me. This is a very personal plug. I spent 8 years on the SEC on CBS crew, and now the Big Ten on CBS crew. And so, from Brad and Gary and Jenny, all the way down to producer Craig Silver and director Steve Milton, and that team was very, very special to me. I talked to them earlier today.
Great talent over there for sure.
Yeah, very excited about that. Thank you so much to the two of you. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks,
we appreciate
Adam.
it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
appreciate it,
Thank
man.
you. We're going to be delivering Secretary Kristi Noem, her live speech from Minneapolis. It's supposed to happen in about 6 minutes from now. We're going to be bringing that to you live when it happens. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to go to Secretary Noem. Don't go anywhere. The afternoon shift continues. Nice. Welcome back to the afternoon shift. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is in Minneapolis, and she is about to speak in about 3 minutes from now on immigration enforcement in the Twin Cities. There you see the setup that she's got at the hall where she's going to be delivering those remarks. It looks like the cameras are all ready to go, and they're just waiting for the secretary to walk through those doors and deliver that speech. Again, it's slated to be happening at 4:30 Central Time, and the minute it happens, we'll be bringing it to you. There are a number of protests going on outside that hall as well. There's another shot of the door there where we're waiting for Secretary Noem to come out. And like I said, just right outside that hall where she's speaking, there are a number of protesters involved. According to a press release, Noem will discuss, quote, ICE operations and an update on the Trump administration's immigration enforcement operations in the Twin Cities. This, of course, comes as the Trump administration is considering sending the National Guard into more cities across the United States, much like Minneapolis and St. Paul. Like I said, that speech is slated to happen at 4:30. This is not only a local story, folks. This is a national story. This is going to be carried by every single cable news outlet. It's a big deal. And Kristi Noem, she is here, and she will be speaking. As mentioned, too, there are a number of protests going on in Minneapolis as on the cusp of this speech as well. There you see a live chopper shot, and that crowd, folks, has grown significantly since we first covered it at 4 o'clock. It is now, it's probably tripled or quadrupled in size since we last had it up here. It looks very organized. It does look peaceful. There are people with signs there. You see a lady with a megaphone that seems to be more or less kind of the organizer of all of it. It seems like right there in the middle. And they are all there to protest Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem in her speech here. I'm going to read you the article that we have up right now on fox9.com. Just to give some context of all of this. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem will hold a press conference in Minneapolis on Friday afternoon to discuss immigration enforcement in the Twin Cities. What do we know? According to a press release, Noem will discuss, quote, ICE operations, an update on the Trump administration's immigration enforcement operations in the Twin Cities. The press conference is scheduled for 4:30 p.m. Earlier this month, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz raised the possibility of the Trump administration deploying federal troops to Minnesota like the administration has in Chicago. A quote from the governor, I think it would be logical for them to come here. We fall into exactly what it looks like they're trying to target. Blue cities and places that he wants to make an impact. You can certainly chill voting in states like Minnesota if you target Minneapolis and St. Paul. Again, that's a statement directly from Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. He said that at an event with Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker in an event that was hosted by the Star Tribune a couple of weeks ago. Walz has said his administration has been preparing for the possibility of troop deployments in Minnesota since last year. The Trump administration has deployed National Guard members to Illinois earlier this month as the administration ramped up immigration enforcement in the city of Chicago. President Trump has also repeatedly criticized Chicago and asserted that crime in that city is out of control. President Trump was also set to deploy federal agents to the city of San Francisco this week to quell crime, but backed off this plan after talking to San Francisco's mayor. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, along with city leaders, recorded a message on the city's stance on immigration ahead of the press conference with Noem, which is scheduled to start any moment now, and when it does, we'll be bringing that to you live. The message can be watched in full on fox9.com, but Frey stated that the city is committed to upholding its separation ordinance, which ensures that city employees, including police and firefighters, are not allowed to participate in civil immigration enforcement. A quote from Mayor Frey: "Minneapolis doesn't flinch when it comes to our values. We stand with our immigrant neighbors, not just in words, but in the laws we've passed, the policies we enforce, and the way we show up for each other every day." That's a quote from Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. The People's Action Coalition against Trump gathered to protest Noem's visit to the Twin Cities, and there you see it happening right in front of you, right now outside the hall where Secretary Noem is scheduled to deliver the speech in any moment. The group is rallying against having a larger ICE presence and the National Guard being sent to the state of Minnesota. Another protest is planned for 4 o'clock, just before Noem's press conference. That's the protest that you see happening right now. The People's Action Coalition against Trump will hold a rally and march called No Trump, No Troops at 1 o'clock tomorrow at the Minnesota State Capitol in St. Paul. Again, that article is out right now on fox9.com. You can read it. Again, folks, we're waiting any moment now for Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. She is here in Minneapolis, and she is about to speak on immigration enforcement in the Twin Cities. And it is reported from a press release that Secretary Noem will discuss ICE operations and update on the Trump administration's immigration enforcement operations here in the Twin Cities. And there I see Grace Henry. Grace, do you have an update for us?
I don't have an update quite yet. We're keeping one eye on the desk and everything. It looks like, we're getting ready. There's an eye on the door. But, these protests are also off of the back of the No Kings rallies and protests that we saw here in Minneapolis this weekend. It broke records. I know it was a nationwide thing. So this protest right now, protesting Kristi Noem's appearance, is off of the back of that, and I think a lot of the signage is very similar to what we saw during the No Kings protests this past weekend.
Yes, there's a lot of public engagement going on this right now. Grace, as you mentioned there, on Saturday, one of the larger No Kings rally protests happening here in downtown Minneapolis. And you see it here again outside that hall where Secretary Noem is slated at any moment to deliver this speech. A number of protesters that has really quadrupled in size since we first brought you those live Fox 9 chopper images at 4 o'clock Central Time. Again, this discussion is going to be on ICE operations and an update on the Trump administration's immigration enforcement operations in the Twin Cities. There you see the live desk where Secretary Noem will be speaking. A not so subtle setting. You see a number of paraphernalia there on the desk there. I'm not exactly sure what everything is. You see two sort of arrested signs of people that ICE has taken in, has apprehended. You see Homeland Security stuff in the background, and that is going to be the desk and the setting where Secretary Noem will be delivering a speech. Grace.
Yeah, we just have our eyes on this. She was supposed to speak at 4:30, but of course sometimes these things run a little bit late. But we'll have this ready for you. We're not going to take a commercial break or anything, so that we can make sure to have her speech in full. But yeah, you can kind of tell what she's going to be talking about based on what is the signage, and it looks like firearms, maybe some like drug paraphernalia is on the table. Not exactly sure. I'm sure she'll probably go over this during her speech, but yeah, we're expecting this at any moment.
Yep, of course. And coming down on crime is of course at the top of the Trump agenda right now. We're seeing it play out in cities all across the United States, and we very well could be seeing that play out right here in the state of Minnesota Again, this is a story, folks, that's not just making local headlines. This is making national headlines. All eyes really are on Minneapolis at this hour as Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is in town and set to deliver this speech on immigration and enforcement in the Twin Cities. What does this mean for us? I'm not exactly sure, and I don't think anybody quite knows at the moment. Like I said there on the article that we have out on fox9.com, the Governor Tim Walz, the Mayor of Minneapolis, Mayor Jacob Frey, both of them have weighed in on what they think could happen, but nobody knows exactly what is going to happen until we learn more here and until maybe we see some actual action taking place and happening. Grace, an update for us.
We don't have an update quite yet, but I'm going to show us what's going on outside with the protesters. It's growing. I mean, even since we've came on the air at 4:30 back from commercial, it has grown since. We've seen people coming in. It looks like we've got some women, some people that are dressed as handmaids, like from The Handmaid's Tale, several Palestinian flags, some American flags, a lot of language that's anti-ICE. So yeah, I mean the crowd has just grown enormously, and it's 4:30 on a Friday, so I think people are getting off of work and heading to Minneapolis to protest Kristi Noem's appearance.
Yep. A lot of different messages that are being delivered here all at the same time, a number of different signs. Like you said there, Grace, a number of different flags and political statements that people are trying to make as this story has really become a political hotbed story, not just here in Minnesota, but really nationwide. Like we said, this is a story that's affecting cities like Washington, D.C., like Chicago, like San Francisco, a number of cities that are being all impacted on this, and now it looks like Minneapolis potentially could be next on the list there. Grace, let's bring you back here into the conversation.
Yeah, I think we're just going to sit on the shot just for a minute or two to kind of regroup and wait to see when Kristi comes up. So the second that we have her, we'll take her, and if it's taking a little bit longer, we'll update the audience as we get more information or we see more shots of the protest.
Yep. So we're back here, folks. The door is open to this hall, and we're expecting Department of Homeland Security Kristi Noem here any second to walk through those doors and deliver a speech. She's going to be discussing ICE operations, an update on the Trump administration's immigration enforcement operations in the Twin Cities. There you see a number of officials that are all standing there. And like I said, we are expecting Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem to walk through those doors and go to that podium any moment from right now. Several hundred protesters outside that building where Secretary Noem is right now, all protesting the Secretary's speech on ICE and its potential influence here in the Twin Cities and in the state of Minnesota. This has been a story that has been on the minds of citizens living in cities like Washington, D.C., and the city of Chicago and San Francisco. And now this could be here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul. There's a lot of unknowns. The governor of Minnesota released a statement that we read there, and you can see it on fox9.com, expressing a lot of uncertainty about this. Same thing goes for Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. A little bit of uncertainty about this. We're learning just like everybody else is here, and we should learn more when the secretary goes to that podium. And there she is. Let's listen in.
Thank you for coming. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. My name is Kristi Noem. I'm the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. And today we're here in Minneapolis and St. Paul visiting with folks and community members and our law enforcement officers about the worst of the worst. This office here has done incredible work to make sure that we are getting criminals, terrorists, foreign terrorist organizations, gang members off of our streets and protecting the members of this community. I have behind me 4 of the individuals that work here in the state and in this region to make sure that we're getting dangerous people away from the citizens in this community in this state, and I want to introduce them for you. We have Sam. Sam Westbay is with HSI. He is the acting special agent that's in charge of this office, and he'll make a few opening remarks here in a little bit as well. We also have David Easterwood. David is with ERO. He is the acting field office director, and I'll ask him to give you a quick update on some of the work and operations that they've been doing as well. We have Tanya Price, who's HSI, an assistant special agent in charge that is stationed here and is doing good work for the citizens of Minnesota, and also Toria Rich. She's the ERO deputy field office director that has been here for several years now working to help protect community members. Listen, the work that these individuals have done has been incredible. Under the Trump administration, our president has been focused on protecting American citizens, on making America safe again. And these individuals get up every single day and support their law enforcement officers that are out on the street upholding the law. Now remember, in this country, with this president in the White House, we don't pick winners and losers. We don't decide which law gets enforced and which one doesn't. There are laws, they are on the books, they were put in place, voted on, and instituted, and therefore we enforce them all. If members of Congress, senators, governors don't like the law, then they should go through the work of changing them and telegraphing and communicating to their members that live in their communities why it needs to be changed. So today, these officers have done incredible work to make sure they're protecting our next generation of Americans. Just since January, they have removed over 4,300 individuals off of our streets who have been arrested and were committing crimes and here illegally in this country. 3,316 had criminal histories, which means they were out there perpetuating violence against citizens here, and now they're no longer doing that because of the work of these law enforcement officers. Of those individuals, 98 of them were gang members, members of foreign terrorist organizations as designated by the Trump administration. Also, 11 of those individuals were known or suspected terrorists, people who will not be able to commit those atrocities here in the United States because we were out on the streets arresting them and removing them and bringing them to justice. 2 of the individuals that have been arrested just since January were foreign fugitives, which means other countries were wanting them for violent crimes and looking for them, and they were able to locate them and send them home to their countries to face justice as well. Our officers are in the streets every single day doing difficult work to make sure that our laws are upheld and that families are protected. Since January, 515,000 have been arrested and deported across this country and removed for breaking our laws. 70% of those individuals had pending or criminal charges against them. I'll talk about a few of the worst that have been removed from this area, but I want you to know that the individuals that have been arrested and removed have had crimes and charges against them such as murder, assaults, homicides, robberies, carjackings, and shootings. And all of those numbers in this community, in Minneapolis and St. Paul, those numbers have only gone up since 2019. Under the leadership of Mayor Fry, under the leadership of Governor Walz, more violent crimes are being perpetuated in these communities because of their refusal to defend American citizens. Regardless, our federal officers, our ICE officers, ERO, HSI, in partnership with our Department of Justice, agencies, and other individuals throughout the federal government, we will continue to do the work to make sure that these criminals are removed from our communities. I want you to look at these posters that we have up here at the front of the room. One of the individuals, his last name is Munoz. He's from Mexico, and he was brought in and arrested for charges of homicide. Another one is Hernandez Rivieras from El Salvador. The charges against him are human slavery and trafficking of individuals in this country. Garcia's in front of us as well. His last name is Garcia Oliver from Mexico. He's been wanted and charged with sexual assault. And then another individual in front of us on these posters in front of us is Gonzalez Rivas. He's from El Salvador and is wanted for assault. These individuals have been arrested because of these individual law enforcement officers in our community and will be brought to justice and deported from our country, never to return. We also had operation that has been working in this area specific to visa fraud. Visa fraud has been very rampant in these cities, and the USCIS agency has worked on Operation Twin Shield, which is a first-of-its-kind visa fraud operation that has gone out and investigated those who maybe came into this country under wrong paperwork or overstayed and refused to leave, and they utilized fraud to do so. It has been incredible the work that these officers have done in conjunction with the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services to make sure that those individuals no longer get to break our laws and aren't held to consequences of it. The violence against our law enforcement officers has gone up 1,000% in recent days, which means because of the rhetoric of politicians in Washington, D.C., but also here locally, our law enforcement officers have been demonized. And because of that, the consequences of the violence that they've had to face has been overwhelming for them at times. I'm here today to ask all of the people in Minnesota, all of the people in the Midwest and throughout our country to support your law enforcement officers, to support them and help protect them as they go out and do their jobs. Each and every single one of them took an oath. They took an oath to support and to defend this country, to defend their communities and protect people, and that's what they're doing every day when they go out and they enforce the law. They make sure that people who perpetuate violence on individuals are brought to justice, and that those who break our laws face the consequences of that and are removed from our country. We've seen attacks across our country on law enforcement, but also on their facilities. We last night had an unprecedented attack on a Coast Guard facility in California by San Francisco. We've seen individuals going after patriots who step up to defend not just our streets, but also defend us internationally and defend us on a national security standpoint each and every day. We need to change our ways in this country. We need to start telling the stories of the victims that will be protected, the people that will be protected, the families that will be able to let their kids walk to school safely now because that terrorist or that sexual predator is off the streets. We need to start talking about these families that need justice for the lost loved ones in their lives. And we need to make sure that we're talking and sitting at a table coming up with solutions on what we can do to make America safe again. Violent protests, violent attacks and riots, and attacks on our law enforcement officers shouldn't be happening in this country. This country was founded on freedom and liberty and raising individuals who can be examples to others of the way that we should live. The Midwest and the Minnesota has always been proud of that, and I think that we can continue to set an example by new agreements that we can reach with law enforcement agencies, but also this city and this governor, by making sure that we're enforcing our laws and that we have partnerships together. In fact, we've been very encouraged by the fact that we have one of our local counties that has signed a 287G program to help us be able to make sure we're getting criminal, illegal aliens off of our streets and out of our communities and off of our roads so that we can protect individuals going forward. The people of this state deserve peace, and I'm hopeful that we'll continue to see that through the good work of these law enforcement officers in front of us. If you get the chance today, thank someone who defends our laws. Our laws matter, and if we don't like them, we change them, but in the meantime, we're going to continue to work to make America safe again. With that, I want to turn it over to Sam, who's going to talk a little bit about some of the work that this office in particular has done, and I'll let him do that, and then we'll go to David as well. Thank you, Sam.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Secretary Noem, for joining us today and for your unwavering support of the critical work we do at ICE and Homeland Security Investigations. My name is Sam Westbay. I'm the Acting Special Agent in charge for Homeland Security Investigations in St. Paul. I have the privilege of leading a team of exceptional professionals who are dedicated to safeguarding our communities and dismantling the transnational criminal networks that threaten our national security. The threats we face today are more sophisticated and global than ever before. Criminal organizations operate across borders, exploiting vulnerabilities to traffic drugs, weapons, and humans, launder money, and engage in cybercrime. These crimes don't just harm individuals, they undermine the fabric of our society, our economy, and our national security. But HSI St. Paul is meeting these challenges head on. Across Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, our agents and analysts are conducting complex investigations that are breaking apart these networks, rescuing victims, and holding perpetrators accountable. We have united with our federal partners and other law enforcement agencies to create the Homeland Security Task Force St. Paul to combat the cartels, foreign terrorist organizations, and take harmful narcotics and weapons off the streets in Minnesota and the Dakotas, like you see in front of you. The work we do is not easy. It requires long hours, meticulous attention to detail, and a willingness to confront dangerous and often unpredictable situations. But the men and women of HSI St. Paul rise to the occasion every day, driven by a deep sense of duty to the Constitution and federal laws and an unwavering commitment to the mission. As Secretary Noem has highlighted, the safety and security of the American people is our top priority. HSI St. Paul is proud to play a leading role in advancing that mission, and we will continue to do so with the same determination and resolve that has defined our work thus far. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Secretary Noem, for your leadership and for taking the time to join us here today. Your presence underscores the importance of the work we do every day in service to the mission of the Department of Homeland Security and the American people. My name is David Easterwood. I'm the Acting Field Office Director for Enforcement and Removal Operations, ERO St. Paul. I am honored to lead the officers and staff of ICRO across Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, and Nebraska. The men and women of ERO St. Paul embody the highest standards of professionalism, integrity, and dedication. Every day, they face complex challenges with determination and resolve, ensuring the safety of our communities and the enforcement of our nation's immigration laws. Their work is critical to the security of the United States, and I am proud to lead such an outstanding team. Across Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa, our efforts have made a profound impact. Whether it's apprehending criminal illegal aliens who pose a threat to public safety, managing detention operations with care and professionalism, or collaborating with federal, state, and local partners, our officers demonstrate every day what it means to serve with honor and dedication. As Secretary Noem has emphasized, our mission is clear: to protect the homeland, uphold the rule of law, and ensure the safety and security of the American people. As we move forward, I am confident that this team will continue to rise to the challenges before us. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you, Sam and David. And this office has been focused on getting the worst of the worst off of our streets. The results that they have brought forward for this community and the city has been absolutely incredible. But as they talked about, they service not just Minnesota, but the surrounding region as well. And we pray every day for their safety when they're out doing their work, and that they would continue to have the support of the people who live here. So with that, we will open it up to any questions that you may have.
Tell us whether or not you plan to deploy the National Guard or increase the presence of other federal agents in Minneapolis and St. Paul or the surrounding metro area.
You know, it's up to the president on if he believes that National Guard should be deployed to any situation in any city across our country. But we do have an increase of federal officers that will be coming. As you know, we had a big bill passed through Congress that allocated to us 10,000 new ICE officers across the country. We have received over 175,000 applicants for those jobs. So the first 12 to 1,500 are out in their offices now, have been trained and qualified and equipped and are out there doing their work. We have thousands more in the next week or two that will be deployed to field offices as well, and this office will be the beneficiary of that as well. So you'll see dozens of new agents and federal officers here doing the work to get these criminals and terrorists off of our streets.
Curious about the weapons and drugs that were sitting on the table. Were those seized locally, and were they seized this year?
They were. I will let Sam talk about the specifics on each of these, but yes, these are all drugs and weapons that were seized from the operations that these law enforcement officers conducted here in this area. So I'll let you talk a little bit about specifics if you'd like to.
Yes, I don't have a lot of specifics on them because obviously some of these cases are still ongoing in the courts. But the dope and the methamphetamines, the fentanyl, and the weapons seen here have been taken off the streets in Minneapolis and St. Paul between us and our federal partners, DEA, ATF, FBI, and everyone else that we work with. But they have been taken off the streets at some point in time throughout the year here. So this is not something uncommon to this area to see this.
Madam Secretary, earlier this week, or yesterday, Mayor Llorens of San Francisco said that he talked to you after President Trump said that he wouldn't be doing a federal deployment in San Francisco. What did you tell the mayor during that call? Is there still a chance that San Francisco could end up with federal immigration or crime enforcement searches?
I did talk with the mayor of San Francisco, and we talked about all of his efforts to bring some safety and security to the streets of San Francisco, and that he had had a conversation with the president who said we would cooperate and help as much as we could, but that if he didn't get it under control, that we would move in, that we would bring in more support, potentially National Guard, Department of War individuals that would be able to help make sure that those people get the safety that they deserve as well. I'll tell you what, last night was not a good example of what the mayor is accomplishing and what the people in that area are accomplishing. To see this violent individual use a truck to try to break into our Coast Guard base and to ram those individuals and threaten the lives of the individuals who serve in our Coast Guard was horrific. And we won't stand for that anymore. I talked to the president about it just a couple of hours after it happened early this morning, and the president said that was their one chance, that if they don't figure out how to protect our law enforcement officers and protect our Coast Guard members, that we would be forced to come in and protect those individuals. Listen, our Coast Guard as well has been out there doing a lot of this drug interdiction that you see across the country and across the world. They don't just have a search and rescue mission. They have a mission to go out there and do a lot of interdictions out in our maritime seas and are picking up tons of cocaine and fentanyl and meth that's being shipped in. Because our border is closed, these cartels and terrorist organizations are moving it through different methods. And so our Coast Guard has been absolute rock stars in being partners with ICE and ERO and HSI to make sure that we're not just bringing people to justice, but that we're also getting these deadly drugs off of our streets. We have saved millions of lives by doing operations like this and getting these drugs out of a system and keeping them away from our children.
Secretary Noem,
Right here?
are you able to elaborate further, more specifically, when we should be seeing those dozens of new agents, and will they be targeting a specific demographic here in Minneapolis?
Our new agents that will come to this region will continue to do the work that this office has done. They'll continue to go out and to not just go after the worst of the worst, but make sure that those individuals that are in this country illegally are brought to justice and deported. You know, one thing I would remind everybody is that we've telegraphed this from the very beginning of the administration, is that if you're here illegally, go home. We will give you $1,000 cash, we will buy you a plane ticket, and you will get the chance to come back to America the right way. If you wait until we detain you and have to deport you, it may take you months to get there, to get through the due process of it, and then you will never get the chance to come back to America and to be one of our citizens and enjoy what is so special about this country. So.
There you just heard Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem delivering some remarks on ICE operations and an update on the Trump administration's immigration enforcement operations in the Twin Cities. That's all it from the afternoon shift. The Fox 9 News at 5 o'clock starts right now with Simone and Karen. We'll see y'all on Monday. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.